relatively simple if you know what you're doing, and that's what we're going to show you today. It's really important you get your Facebook pixel set up correctly and working, and this is how you know who's been on your website and plays an important role in your audience creation, as well as the optimization and delivery for your ads, which we showed you in the previous lesson. First thing we're going to do today is learn how to create a pixel for our ad account and for our website. Without this, it can't start detecting actions and you can't test it. For this reason, we always recommend creating your pixel and leaving it to run for a month before you create your ads, as this gives you plenty of time to troubleshoot and gather data for your audiences. We're then going to learn how to integrate this with your Shopify store. It's so simple if you have a Shopify store, as there's literally an integration app that just allows you to do this easily. You don't have to do any coding and you don't need any developer to help you. We're then going to learn how to test your pixel, and there's two ways that we can do this. By testing our pixel, we'll then understand the importance of making sure the pixel is functioning correctly. For example, if you end up having 2 add to carts events fire, you know that there's something not quite right there, and you actually might end up with having 2 add to cart events being recorded, which isn't accurate to what we want to see. So let's just dive in and learn how to create a pixel. So for this example, I'm just going to go into Thornton, which is a company that we're working with. They haven't got their pixel created, well, the pixel's created, but it hasn't been set up yet. So we're just going to establish that here, and obviously we'll know that we're not going to be messing anything up. What you'll do though to get into this is just go into your burger menu at the top, move along to measure and report, and go into pixels. Just double check you have the right account set here. You don't want to obviously create a pixel in someone else's account and get confused. But if you want to create a new pixel and you haven't got one here already, it'll either say create pixel big in the middle here, or you'll need to go into add new data source and hit Facebook pixel. So then what you'll want to do here is you'll want to name your pixel. If you've got more than one, just make sure you name it something that you know. And then for example here, I'm just going to put in the Blend website, just because that will make it easier for us. And then you just hit create. Once you hit create, that means your pixel is pretty much created on there. But now what you'll do is you'll want to set up the pixel and install it on your website. You won't need to do manually yourself, as there's an integration with Shopify, as we can see here, and you won't need to do email instructions to a developer because that's already done here. But what we'll do is then we'll connect a partner platform. So no matter what you're on, just find the right one, and for us, that's going to be on Shopify. So you can turn off automatic advanced matching, but to be honest, it doesn't have too much difference, and you can obviously just turn this on and off whenever you need to. So just hit continue in that one. It then actually talks you through what you need to do. So literally just go onto your Shopify store. You're then going to head into online store on the left-hand side here, and you're going to move down into preferences. And then in preferences, as we scroll down, you'll then come across one here that says Facebook pixel. So let's just pop back over to here, and it literally talks you through step by step what you need to do. Obviously I've jumped forward here. And then what you need to do is it will give you your pixel ID down the bottom here that you can copy, and then you'll just copy and paste this into where it says Facebook pixel. I'm not going to change blends because obviously that's blends, but all you do is copy and paste it in here and hit save. Then moving back to the instructions again, if we hit continue again, then what you just need to do is verify the connection. So you literally just have to copy and paste your website here, send some test traffic, go on your website, mess around a bit, add a few things to cart, and it will start sending data through to your pixel, and that's it. That's all you have to do to set up your pixel and integrate it with your Shopify store. How easy is that? So once your pixel is all set up, we just like to recommend leaving it a few days just so it can start to function and can start sending some traffic through, just so that you can double check that things are working. And then that brings us to the next point in this video. We're going to learn how to test our own pixel. Now, first things first, get your website open. So I'm just going to go across here and go into Blend. Now in Blend, I have a little icon here, which is called the Facebook Pixel Helper. This is a Chrome extension that you can just download and add for free. And what it will do is it will show you all the pixels that you have on this page. At the moment, this is recording a page view for us because we are viewing a page. As we've said before, it's important that you're getting the right data. And a great example of this is one of our clients was actually having trouble with double add to cart events. So every time you added to cart, it was doubling up the event. This meant that reporting wise, we were looking at it, it looked like we were seeing better results. So it looked like we were getting double the add to carts that we actually were. If this happens, then make sure you contact Facebook and Shopify to see if there's an issue. Sometimes Facebook can be wrong, sometimes Shopify can be wrong, sometimes they'll say each other is wrong, and sometimes it can be neither of them. So just make sure you contact both of them and get both of them to have a look into it. Actually, in the end, we never really found out why it was firing twice, but interestingly, we did fix it by just doing an update on the Shops theme, and that just fixed the pixel issue. So it's just important to test those things, and if you do come across anything, just address it as soon as possible. Going back to this pixel helper, as I said, it will show you the pixels that are on your website. Blend accordingly has 2, and just when you look at this, make sure that you double check that the right pixel is installed. So we can send that one ending in 222. Going back into here is this one here. So we know that's the correct one that's installed here. And then what you can do with this app is you can just play around on the page. So you can go into your services, just double checking what the connections are here and things like that. If you've got a product, add it to your cart, initiate a checkout, and just make sure all of the events are coming through in your pixel helper. Facebook pixel helper isn't always the best. It doesn't always have accuracy, like for example, it's showing us the second pixel here, but we know that it's not on the system. But it is a good way of showing you what pixels are around and if there are maybe any issues you are seeing. But there's also another way that you can test your pixel, and that is within Facebook itself. So let me just dive into Blends. Actually, let me dive into another client's pixel just so that I can add things to cart for you. And I'm going to show you this client in particular because I know that there is actually something wrong with their pixel at the moment. So when you open up the screen, you'll see a pixel like this, and you can just click into pixel here and you can see where all of your your tracking is. And you can see the events as you track down. You can see obviously some that are missing and some that aren't. But you can go onto the left-hand side here. Diagnostics will come up and tell you if there's anything immediately wrong with your pixel. But really what you're going to go into is test events. And now test events is literally where you get to test your pixel. So what you'll do is you'll enter your website URL here and open the website. Just opening up Aquarium Cart here, which we're just working with at the moment. And then what I'll do, obviously I can see the pages here. I'm going to click on a plant. I'm then going to click on another plant. And then I'm going to hit add to cart. And then I'm going to hit checkout. And then I'm going to look back at the base pixel and see what it's tracked. So here you can see these are all the events that have been tracked. So yes, that was the home page, that was the all products page, and that was the product itself. Viewing the product itself here, adding it to cart, and then because I haven't entered in any information yet, it's just a page view. Once I enter my information there, that's when it would hit initiate checkout. And this is just good to see, just to make sure none of these are doubling up. Originally, they had custom conversion set up here, which meant the add to cart was doubling up. But you may obviously see that there is an orange triangle on the left here. And that means that there is something wrong. And for us, the pixel and the catalog are not paired together. So obviously I told you in the last video that this is why it's so important to make sure the two are together. And this is the reason why. Your pixel is tracking people who have added or purchased products from a catalog. So if you have the two together, it can collect this information and then you can use it in your ads. So if you ever see any issues like this, just make sure you go and you fix them and then come back after that fix and test it all again just to double check things are working. Always test your pixel before you create ads, just so you know everything is working before you put any money on the line. If at any point you noticed an issue with your pixel, just pause your ads. The pixel is the reason your ads are running, so if this is wrong, you could potentially be wasting money. If you're unsure about your pixel, then just follow the steps above. Equally, you can ask any agency like Blend to perform a pixel check for you. They'll know where to look and they'll know what to do if something's wrong. And this is why it's important to have those permissions set for them as well, just so that they can look at everything and change anything that needs to be done. If you do decide to work with an agency and they don't test your pixel before they start your ads, then this is a bit of a red flag, as you don't actually know and they don't actually know if your pixel is performing correctly. Therefore, you don't know if your ads are going to perform correctly if these two aren't correct. And that's really all you need to know about setting up the pixel. Like I said to you, it really isn't that scary, and the fact that Shopify has that integration with Facebook just makes it 10 times easier. So in your next steps, in between our last video, just make sure you create your pixel and integrate it with your Shopify store, making sure that it's assigned to your catalogs. Then make sure that you test it, use the Chrome extension, and also use the test events in Facebook to double check everything's all right. If you do find any issue, try to pinpoint where it is or when it happens. If it's to a particular product or is it at a particular stage like the add to cart level, then you know that that's where the issue is. If you find an issue like this, contact both Facebook and Shopify, as both of them will be able to check their ends to see if there is an issue. You can also contact agencies like Blend, and we're always going to be happy to help and try and fix these for you. If in the meantime you want to get any more information or want to read up on Facebook ads, then please do visit the Blend website.